July in Boise and time to get on the bikes and ride into the cooler mountain airs. We'll trailer to Salmon, Idaho, and then ride the bikes through the mountains of western Montana, all the way up to Glacier Park, and then to a wedding in Libby. After a night at the Salmon Airport, we hit the road, only to be stopped in a few miles by a flat tire on Nadine's bike. Fortunately, a motorcycle shop in Salmon saves the day with a pickup and a patch. At the little town of Tendoy, we leave the highway and turn up to Limhi Pass. Tell me, how long have you been living here?
I have been living here 57 years.
50s. You must have been a child bride when you came here.
No, I'd like to say that's what it was, but I'm 95 years old.
Oh my
Whoa.
God.
My mother is 96, 95, going on 96. When were you born? 1917?
No, I was born in 1919.
19, okay. Well, my mother
So
is
that
19.
figure out 57.
Yeah, my mother must be 96 going on 97. Yeah.
You're doing really good.
Really?
Thank you.
Are you the mayor of town too?
Well, when you get as old as I am, there's nobody older. So, consequently, yes, I'm the mayor, the judge, anything they come, any trouble they have, they come down here and hash it out.
Do you work 7 days a week here?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Now we're happy to be riding in the dirt, heading up to the Continental Divide where Lewis and Clark came over. Now we'll be in Montana for the rest of the trip. On paved and lonely winding roads through the beautiful mountains, we end up in Elkhorn Hot Springs. Nadine thinks this is the ideal mountain campground and resort.
I ask you, what's not to like about this, especially after a dusty day on the bikes? What I don't understand is why Pete isn't in here too.
He said it's such a wonderful, warm, and delicious food. You should get in. You know what you're missing.
It's all wet. Is this taking away the cares of the world?
Yeah, it's just like you float on your back. Look up at blue sky and clouds. I would come back to this place in a flash. In fact, I would stay here for a few days.
You liked it?
Yeah, that was the best $5 I've ever spent. It was $5. Well, it's actually $7, but I didn't have change. So I gave her $5, and she accepted it for a swim, a shower, towel, everything. It was wonderful. Warm, deliciously warm, beautiful water. Clear, clean, warm, nice pool. Swam some laps. I'm ready to move on.
For some backwoods adventure, we visit the ghost town of Coolidge. Silver ore was discovered here about 1872, but a real mining operation didn't get started till around 1914. There was electric power, steam heat, schools, and a post office, but no saloons and whorehouses. These miners must have just worked 24 hours a day.
Spent most of your days outside working, I suppose.
I love ghost towns. They make you remember that nature always bats last.
In 1928, the mine shut down because of a river dam failure, as well as the collapse of the American economy. It never recovered from the Depression. On the road again, we ride on well-maintained roads through the magnificent open country, bordered by snow-capped mountains.
Montana's scenery is endlessly spectacular. The view around each new bend in the road is more beautiful than the last. It's lucky for me there's not a lot of traffic on these back byways, because I can't stop looking around left and right. There's so much to take in.
At Drummond, we stop at a sweet little campground in the city park.
In-town camping places like this are really great for tourists, particularly those of us on motorcycles or bicycles.
All day long we travel through broad valleys and plains where the wind screams and tries to push us over. It's a constant stress that really tires me out. So Nadine, what happened here?
I don't know why I didn't go out this way instead of... You can see the track.
Yes, you came through very nice and then kerplunk.
I must have been trying to turn it this way. I don't know why I shouldn't have been.
Well, here we are at Van Lake. About a 4-mile dirt road ride into it off the main highway 83. And we fought the wind all day long. It was either a headwind or a side wind of about 20-25 miles an hour, and just made life miserable. Now, we're here in the woods and it's full of mosquitoes and we need some wind to blow them around. But is there wind? No way. So we're missing that thing that we hated for most of the day.
I had a little skid through the mud. I think I went on the wrong side. There were 2 divots of tire tracks, both with water in them and mud. And I went to the left, tried to stay somewhat to the middle, but it was just a little too slippery, and for the next thing I know, I just fell over. But I had passed the mud, so I didn't fall in the mud, and I barely got dirty.
I purposely packed my colored pencils and a sketchbook to practice my rudimentary skills. The final picture, however, never captures certain things, like the lonely call of the loon, the subtle changes of light, or the sheer peacefulness in and around me.
So Nadine, what do you think of this campsite?
Well, it's nice, but it's harsh.
It's good to be away from the bugs and on the road again.
Here at Hungry Horse, what I am most hungry for is water, big quantities of it, to rinse off, clean up, wash my hair, and just generally cool off. Motorcycle riding can be a hot and dirty business.
You can be assured that my body will not be immersed in that liquid ice. Is it cleaner now?
Do I look cleaner?
Oh yeah, immensely cleaner.
This lone deer followed a meandering path of browsing on huckleberries and suddenly found itself in the midst of our campground. It managed to keep its cool, though, and it was a special moment for all of us just watching it.
One of the reasons we're in this part of Montana is to visit Glacier National Park. I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and Nadine's never been here. The weather's perfect, and we're looking forward to seeing the glaciers. The lakes, rivers, and mountains are stunning. It's truly a national treasure.
This is my first visit to Glacier Park and the Going to the Sun Highway. I'm really and truly awed. The sun warms our backs, the morning air is crisp, the streams rush by a glacial blue, and the mountains tower all around us. It makes you feel really small.
Well, so far, what do you think?
Oh, it's pretty magnificent, for sure. I'm really glad we're doing it.
The traffic is near bumper to bumper, and in this case, that's good. It keeps me going slow enough to take it all in.
The crowd at Logan Pass shows that we're not alone in looking for scenic adventure.
In the parking lot at the summit, we find spots for our motorcycles pretty quickly. Cars, on the other hand, have to cruise around the parking lot for 15, 20, or 30 minutes waiting for a space to open up.
The new shuttle buses are nice, but I love the modern version of the old classic ones from the 30s. Here, man and nature have a symbiotic relationship. The ground squirrels eat the leftovers and trash from the tourist lunches.
We use our time in camp to pore over maps, not only to look at the route for our next stop, but just to review where we've been and how we got here.
I see the tools. It seems like the tool section is
Near Polson on Flathead Lake, we stop and visit old friends Sandy and Mike. We make a boat trip to Wild Horse Island.
This is a great swimming trip for me. Pulling up to the dock here at Flathead Lake, I can hardly wait. I know I'm going to jump in. Does anyone have a problem with a naked 70-year-old body? I asked the group. Well, the water is clear, so clean, so blue. You can see the rocks down below, and it's cool and brisk and sharp diving in. Wonderful, wonderful feeling. Access to the water with this dock is fantastic. I just can't believe how clear the water is too. I mean, it's as beautiful as anything we've seen in like Baja and places like that. It's a beautiful lake. Hiking the hills on Wild Horse Island with these young folks gets my heart rate going. I am doubly glad for the appearance of some wildlife. It gives us a chance to stop, watch, and also to catch a breath.
There isn't any hunting allowed here, so the deer and the sheep are pretty bold, more curious than afraid of us. Our last camp before Libby is on Lake Koocanusa.
And the trip so far?
I have no complaints. It's been actually wonderful.
Why
no complaints.
Why are you complaining all the time then?
I do not complain.
Whine.
Wine.
Say the scenery's bad. The riding's too hard.
The only complaint I ever make is say, my butt hurts, it's sore.
Go faster, go faster.
Yeah, I do urge you to go faster.
The roads ahead are wide open and empty. Go fast, you say? Why not?
Finally, we're in Libby and can do with some cool shade and an icy drink. There's a tent city for all of the guests who are camping out for the wedding, complete with a full shower, sink, and a dressing room. We're all astonished to see the wildlife so bold and so near. The wedding takes place on a small island in the middle of an isolated mountain lake. It's called Island Lake. The wedding party's ferried over to the island on a small inflatable catamaran. This takes lots of trips to get everybody over. So now it's time for you to share with everyone here the commitment that you've already made to each other.
What else was it?
That's it. That finger. I now pronounce they are husband and wife. Thank goodness we have adequate survival supplies on this voyage. It'd be a disaster to be shipwrecked with no gin. I'm happy that the first-class crew are experts at boating essentials.
Riding upriver toward Kootenai Falls, the gorge is a most beautiful surprise. The river squeezes between narrowed walls and slides around the rock islands. It runs deep and silent. It's sort of a creepy beauty. I sit up front, manning the camera. All is well and good until Ray cranks up the speed to run through that bit of white water ahead. I'm momentarily discombobulated, but I manage to gracefully recover and resume my duties. That scream is not fake.
Instead of coal cars going to the electricity generating plants, now we see giant wind turbine blades headed to a wind farm to make pollution-free energy.
Who is this? Who is
Buster! It's Buster!
It's Buster. Yes, your mommy and daddy are both home.
What a happy dog.
We thought we would get overtime to sleep with you last night, but oh no. Oh, what a happy boy. Well, Buster, what do you think? Are you glad we're home? Can you speak? Huh? Well, just...